He was a top U.S. Navy SEAL, a man whose job was mastering the world's most brutal forms of combat. To him, Bruce Lee was nothing more than a movie star, and he wasn't afraid to say it, challenging Lee to face a real man. This is the story of their secret confrontation. A fight held behind closed doors, with only 8 members of the military elite as witnesses. It has become one of the great modern legends of martial arts, a clash that promised to answer the one question everyone had. Was the legend of Bruce Lee dangerously real? The story unfolds in the late 1960s or early 70s, at the absolute peak of Bruce Lee's fame. He was a global phenomenon, the man who put martial arts on the world stage. But with that celebrity came a shadow of doubt. Was he a true fighter or just an incredibly gifted actor? In the other corner, the U.S. Navy SEALs, men forged in the brutal reality of the Vietnam War. They were masters of practical, life-or-death combat, and they didn't have time for Hollywood theatrics. The legend says one of their senior instructors, some versions name him Dan Morrison, others Ray Dalton or James Hawkeye Morrison, was a deep skeptic. This was a man who had seen actual combat and believed that Lee's fluid, almost dance-like style was pure performance, not fit for a real-world fight. To him, what mattered was what worked under fire, and he was convinced Lee's fancy techniques would get a man killed. This skepticism wasn't just locker room talk. During a private demonstration for military personnel, the SEAL allegedly made his feelings public. The exact words are lost to time, but the message was loud and clear. Come fight a real man, not a movie star extra. It was a direct challenge, basically calling Lee a fraud in front of his peers. You could have cut the tension with a knife. An arrangement was quickly made for a private demonstration. This wasn't going to be for cameras or a crowd. It would be held in a secluded location, with only a handful of high-ranking officers and SEAL instructors present. Just 8 men who would be the sole keepers of what happened next. The stage was set, Hollywood's biggest star against a hardened American warrior. As the tale goes, the SEAL, who outweighed Lee by a good 50 pounds, came out in a boxer's stance, ready for a brawl. He lunged forward, throwing a series of heavy punches, but Bruce didn't meet force with force. In that first, shocking moment, the SEAL threw a punch and Bruce barely shifted. He then fired off a vertical punch that traveled less than a foot, striking the SEAL square in the sternum. Witnesses in these stories describe it as if the man hit an invisible wall. The 220-pound warrior, all his momentum instantly gone, stumbled backward, fighting for breath. Stunned but furious, the SEAL charged again. This time, Lee moved with him, effortlessly redirecting his energy. One version of the story ends with a palm strike that buckled the SEAL's knees. Another says Lee swept his ankle, dropped him to the mat, and stopped his fist just an inch from the man's throat, a show of absolute control. The entire confrontation was over in less than 90 seconds. The 8 witnesses and the SEAL himself were left in stunned silence. The demonstration was over. The point had been made, not with brutality, but with shocking efficiency. The humbled SEAL had his answer, and in some retellings, became a huge advocate for adding Lee's principles into official SEAL training. But here's where the story gets tricky. For all the vivid details you might find online, there are no official records of this fight. No photos, no declassified reports, no verifiable eyewitnesses who have ever gone on the record. The name of the SEAL, the date, and the location all change depending on who's telling the story. What we're left with is an incredible piece of folklore, a story that feels so true to who Bruce Lee was that it's taken on a life of its own. This story grabs our imagination because it touches on the ultimate what if about Bruce Lee's skill, but his legacy isn't built on just myths. He had one officially documented challenge match in his life, a controversial fight that completely changed how he thought about combat. If you want the real story of Bruce Lee's most famous and most controversial fight, check out our video on his battle with Wang Jack-man. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the legends and realities of the martial arts world. So, did Bruce Lee really humble a Navy SEAL behind closed doors? All signs point to it being a powerful legend. But the reason the story sticks around is that it reflects a deeper truth everyone felt asterisk about him. His incredible speed and power weren't just movie magic. They were well documented in public demonstrations, like his famous one-inch punch that could send a grown man flying. While his only officially recognized challenge match was against Wang Jack-man, countless stories from training partners and witnesses describe his almost superhuman abilities. The legend of the Navy SEAL isn't powerful because it's a verified fact. It's powerful because it perfectly captures the mystery of Bruce Lee, the man who blurred the line between screen performance and real-world mastery so completely that we're still debating where one ended and the other began. This story, myth or not, is a testament to his skill, a tale that proves in our imagination what he so often proved in reality. He was every bit the legend we believe him to be.